Let's be honest. The word research sounds a little intimidating, doesn't it? You might picture scientists in lab coats or someone buried in a dusty library. But what if I told you that research, at its heart, is a really powerful tool that anyone can use? In this explainer, we're going to strip all that away and give you a simple, clear way to understand what it's all about.
So let's just ask it. What is research, anyway? Is it just a fancy word for Googling something? Is it something that only academics with PhDs get to do? There's a lot of confusion out there, and that's totally okay. But stick with me, because we're about to make it crystal clear.
Okay, so before we can really build up the right definition, I think we have to do a little demolition first. We've got to clear away the junk. Sometimes the best way to understand what something is to first get really clear on what it isn't. So let's dive into some common things people mistake for research.
Do any of these sound familiar? I bet they do. Think about it. We've all seen a report that's just a giant data dump of facts with no real point. Or maybe an article that just repeats what everyone else has already said without adding any new insight. And oh, the classic, when someone says, well, research shows, just to make their idea sound more important, with nothing to back it up. All of these? They're kind of like imposters. They're missing the secret sauce of what makes research, well, research.
All right, now that we've cleared the air a bit, we are ready for the main event. Let's get to the real, honest-to-goodness definition of research, the one that academics and professionals actually use. And you might be surprised. It's a lot simpler and way more powerful than you think.
And here it is. It's simply this: something that people undertake in order to find things out in a systematic way, thereby increasing their knowledge. That's it. See? The magic is all in those two parts. You're on a mission to find things out, and this is the key, you do it in a systematic or structured way. It's the total opposite of just randomly stumbling upon an answer.
So this definition really stands on three legs. First, you collect your data systematically. It's planned, not just a grab bag of facts. Second, you interpret that data systematically, using logic and a clear process, not just a gut feeling. And maybe most important of all, the whole thing is driven by a crystal clear purpose. You're trying to find something specific out.
And just so you know, these aren't just some random ideas I cooked up. The principles we're talking about here are pulled straight from major academic textbooks on research. So we're working with a really solid, time-tested framework. So now that we have our core definition locked in, let's add a little bit more detail. See, not all research is trying to do the same thing. The first big split you'll see is between basic and applied research. I like to think of them as two different flavors, and each one is super valuable in its own way. Okay, so on one side, you have basic research. Its whole purpose is to expand what we as a society know about the world. It's about creating big, universal principles. Think of a university studying the fundamentals of human motivation. Then, on the other side, you've got applied research. This is all about solving a very specific, practical problem right now, like a company trying to figure out why are our sales suddenly dropping in this one city. One is broad and foundational, the other is targeted and practical. All right, here's another one. This is a distinction that trips up a lot of people. The difference between methods and methodology. Yeah, they sound almost the same, but they're talking about two completely different things. It really boils down to the how versus the why of your research. Think of it like this. Your methods are the actual tools in your toolbox. They're the things you use. The questionnaires, the interviews, the specific statistical tests. They're the how. But your methodology? That's the blueprint for the whole house. It's the big picture strategy, the philosophy that explains why you chose those specific tools for this specific job in the first place. Okay, so we know what research is, we get the key differences, but how do you actually, do it? It can feel like this huge, scary mountain you have to climb. But honestly, it's way more like a journey that has a clear, 6-step roadmap that anyone can follow. And here's that map. Pretty much every solid research project follows this exact path. First, you figure out precisely what you want to study. Then you go see what other smart people have already discovered about it. After that, you design your own plan. You go out and collect your information, you analyze it to find the interesting patterns, and finally, you write it all up to share what you learned. See? It turns this one scary task into a bunch of smaller, totally manageable steps. So there you have it. Research isn't some secret, mysterious thing. It's just a systematic way of finding things out. It's a powerful process for turning plain old curiosity into actual knowledge. It's a journey, and now you have the map. So the only real question left is, what will you discover?